Recall that domain means what are we allowed to plug in. I'm going to start by rewriting this. And so I can see that f of x is equal to, let's see, what multiplies to give us positive 18 and combines to give us a negative 11. That'd be x minus 9 and x minus 2. Over here I have an x minus 3. Now, what does this mean? It means I'm going to take g, I'm going to plug it into f. But let's first think about g. When I think about g, I know that the value under the square root, has to be greater than or equal to 0. So this alone has to have a value that is greater than or equal to 3 when I set this quantity and equal to 0. So keep that in mind. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug this in wherever I see an x value over here. So f of g of x looks like this. Now before you start to stress out, remember you've got a calculator, and when we can graph something on a calculator, then we can see what the domain is, what we're allowed to plug in. So I went to the function f of x, the outside one, and I plugged in what g of x is equal to wherever I see a variable. I'm going to grab my calculator and do second plus 712, second plus 712, okay, and then I'm going to plug this in slowly. All right, now keep in mind when we look at our different options here for question number 80, see how some of them go all the way out to 84 or beyond? So I'm right away going to start by going to my x's, and I'm going to go out past 84, like out to 100, just to make sure that I could see everything. All right, here we go. Also, just to be, well, I think I'm going to do that. Just to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to change the square root on the outside just to be a 1/2. I know that the square root, there's a hidden 2 here and 3, so it also could be written as this quantity raised to the 1/2. I think that will help me. All right, so this inside one, I'm going to have to do a couple parentheses here. This inside one is going to be the square root of x subtract 3 minus 9, okay? So there is 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, that's perfect. And then we're going to take that times, again, we're going to do 2 parentheses, and we're going to do square root of x subtract 3, move out there, and then minus 2 end parenthesis. And now I want to raise this all to the 0.5. All right, let's see what we have. All right, so I want to know what is this value down to what is this value. So let's figure out what is this value up here at this very top. Okay, so if I come over here, I should be able to find what is that maximum. If I come way back over here, using my cursor, there we go, let's do the maximum. We should be able to, their maximum. So when I'm looking here, it looks like it is probably a maximum value of the x value of 3.3 something. It looks like it. Now could it even just be 3? See how we have just a 3 here? Let's check that out. Let's do second trace the value of 3, and we do have an actual value here. It looks like it doesn't exist there because there's no blue line. Sometimes when we look at how it is done with our pixels, as long as we have an output value, we know it's part of the function. So I can see that we do go to 3. So I like the idea of 3 as being the starting point. So it starts at 3, and there's actually a point there that needs to be considered. Now how low does it go? So I'm going to look at my options. Does it keep going all the way to infinity? No, it doesn't look like there's anything here. Maybe it goes to 7. Let's check that. Second trace of value, and let's go 7. Is there an output value? There sure is. So I feel confident 3 to 7 looks right. It's looking more and more like this is probably going to be my answer. Now let's come all the way over here. Let's check 84. Second trace value, 84. 84 is a point, and we can see as it goes to the right, it continues to move to the right. Now if I wanted to, I can move this out even further, out to 150, and we can see on the right hand side it just continues to move up and to the right. So I feel confident by plugging in the correct answer is D as in dog.